All right, I started the record.
So Chandler, can you just get a count of who are the judges and who's there and the pitching companies? Because we need to make sure we have those people before we do anything.
Okay, hold on one second. Actually, can I see that real quick?
Hey, do I have your?
Yeah. I mean, do you have a presentation room? Here. Um, 19. Here. Okay. For those of you that have just joined, we are going to try our best to get started on time. Austin, I'm just trying to go through a count of the companies. Let's see here.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, Scott. Can hear you.
Good, thanks. We're just trying to wait to get a count of all the judges and all the founders on here. It's actually, it's harder than it seems when you have everybody just joining in the same way on Zoom.
Okay, we have Slava, Quentin, Amoga, Austin. Who are we missing for the founders? Any other founders here that I did not call out? Okay, so that's
I'm
no.
sorry, did you get Dylan?
No. John N.
I thought I saw Dylan. Dylan, shout if you're there. Yeah. Okay, there's Dylan waving his hand. So we have Dylan. So we have Kyle from Over Easy.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I think that means we've got all the founders. Now, of the judges, how many did you get a count of that?
Yeah, do we have David Moon here? And David Mortimer is here.
Yes.
Yep. Justin Mendez. Sorry, Justice. And Scott Garber, that's who I'm missing.
So we're missing David Moon and we're missing Scott Garber.
I'm here.
Oh, we're not missing Scott Garber. So are we missing?
Justice and David Moon.
Oh,
And
okay.
Neha. Neha, are you here?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
Neha, sorry.
No worries.
All right. So, all right. I'm going to give it like literally one more minute on David Moon and Justice because we have to get go ahead and get started. Actually, what I'll do is we'll go ahead and start with the intros, and then Chandler, just tell me when we go into the pitches whether we're still missing judges, because I have to figure out the order here. So anyway, welcome everybody for joining for the TechEvolution virtual event that Comeback Capital does with the Youngstown Business Incubator. Next slide. So first of all, I want to thank all the judges who have volunteered their time to come and do this. So we have David Moon, David Mortimer, John Eng, John McElraith. You can keep going because I don't have this in front of me, Chandler. Justice Mendez, Kim Banham, Neha Kara, Phil Nidal, Rob Weber, Scott Garber, Scott Holloway, and Tony Olivito. Thank you for being judges. I have to do something about getting people not to be all named the same first name, since our convention is to go alphabetically at the judges by first name, which I gotta figure out a way around that. But anyway, this is how the pitches work. I want to remind all of the audience, for all the participants, of that. So we have 4-minute pitches in alphabetical order by company name, right? And we're going to do this with a 2-minute warning in the chat written, a 1-minute warning in the chat written, a 30-second warning in the chat written, and at 10 seconds, we have somebody who's going to say 10 seconds left, and then we'll cut the mic at 4 minutes. Then we rotate through the judges in alphabetical order by first name. Well, I'll take 5 questions from judges collectively for each pitch. Then I'll go to 4 and see if there's a question in the chat. If there isn't, I'll go to a 5th judge. And then founders have 2 minutes collectively to answer the 5 questions. And again, we'll do 1-minute warning in chat, 30-second warning in chat, and at 10 seconds, a verbal warning that the time is up. Then the audience will vote via a Zoom poll and put their reason for picking the company that is their favorite in the chat, right? Like, I don't know, biggest market, most traction, think it'll be $1 billion company, whatever is their reason. I will then go by judges one by one in alphabetical order by first name, asking them to verbally state which company they pick, and the 1 sentence on why. After the vote, everyone can get moved to the breakout rooms with the founders. I'm going to ask the audience to please keep yourself on mute when we are doing this. Go to the next slide, please. So these are the 5 companies: Aiden Health, Camlin Games, Carbon Origins, Evergreen Miner, Overeasy, United Market. So I will turn now to going ahead, and that means we start with Aiden Health. I'm going to put myself on mute and let Quentin go ahead and launch his slides and get started when he's ready.
Okay, trying to share here. You guys see my screen? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Well, I get going then. Okay, well, hello everyone. I'm Quentin Fisher, and I'm founder and CEO of Aiden Health. Aiden is an AI-first company, and we orchestrate healthcare operations through intelligence and innovation. Aiden stands for Artificial Intelligence Discovery and Action Network. So it's not just enough to have the insights, but you need to be able to act on it, and in a coordinated way. And as the founder of Aiden, I have decades of experience across 100+ clients, including the US Army supply chain. We've been doing AI in healthcare since 2017, before it was even cool. And we picked Microsoft as a platform. And we've been taking full advantage of their partnership with OpenAI and the use of generative AI tools. We are profitable, and we have shown proven results in the healthcare sector. You know, AI that's really driving benefit. There are many problems to focus on in healthcare. This is a large and operationally immature industry. However, we want to focus on the negative margins that over half the hospital systems are experiencing, the massive amount of waste in the system, and the poor adoption of predictive analytics. To solve this problem, we need to get up and out of the weeds. The control tower concept has been applied to many other industries, and healthcare needs this. We need to increase visibility. We need to look farther into the future with forecasting and prediction, and then coordinate and orchestrate these operations, right? The results of this are flow and efficiency. This needs to be built on a strong foundation of data and AI. The market here is huge, with a $500 billion TAM, and with the control tower specifically focused directly looking at least a $50 billion service addressable market, very big market. So why now, right? High interest rates and negative margins are applying fiscal pressure. We can now as well efficiently apply custom AI at scale. And as Steve Jobs would say, we're facing an interface moment with generative AI. All this means that there is a compelling need to change, and there's new capability that can be applied. We have 7 products within our control tower. We have real case studies and results against these products. With efficiency, we predict no-shows at outpatient facilities and apply intelligent scheduling rules. This can increase capacity by 20%. With visibility and orchestration, we implement prediction and forecasting to understanding patient demands. MD Live, a telehealth company as part of Cigna right now, is saving millions of dollars and has cut their patient wait times in half. We actually have the MD Live case study up on Microsoft's website. So we're showing real world examples of AI innovation. And this is a showcase, one of Microsoft's best operational healthcare examples. Aiden started in 2022 and has grown recurring revenue steadily since then. So we're on a good trajectory. And we are providing a unique solution with our control tower in the healthcare sector. This is an enterprise-wide solution providing actionable AI. Our primary go-to-market is with large healthcare systems and payers. We have a SaaS model. We're also working on go-to-markets with EHR vendors and helping them have more AI. We have an awesome team. We have Dr. Cindy Zellis, a former chief medical officer at MD Live, has been providing great results. And then we are looking, we are profitable and looking for some smart advising relationships with the 1.5 million raise.
Great. Thank you very much. We'll go through the questions. So David Mortimer, your question, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so it looks like you have a quite a large offering, 7 products, and when I mean, they don't really look like very related one to each other, except for the AI thing. So is there one product that is that sells more than the others, or how do you prioritize basically the sale of one product versus the other?
John Eng, your question.
Yeah, my question basically is these are very long sales cycles. So I'm wondering, and you're doing fantastic in terms of efficiency. I'm wondering what your unlock is there.
Thank you. John McElraith.
Related question, you do have a lot of offerings. I'm curious which one of the offerings or the functions is getting the strongest reception, and what's the ROI to the system for that particular offering? How do they think about ROI?
Thanks. Kim, the question.
How much the 1.5 million raise, how long is the runway for that for your company? And what are you looking to do with that funding to help accelerate your growth?
Thank you. And Neha.
I will echo the other 2 judges about multiple offerings. I'm just curious why the decision to go so broad. at such an early stage of the game.
Mhm.
Okay, Quentin, you have 2 minutes for those questions.
You're on mute, Quentin.
1.5 mil, that will give us a 24-month runway. And the key focus is really bringing a sales engine and capability to kind of really drive that and move us beyond initial word of mouth and that. As far as the products, I mean, we started off with scheduling and working through that. We've since then moved up to more advanced forecasting and back to the control tower, forecasting, orchestration, and looking at that kind of 3-month to 12-month horizon, really driving that orchestration across the large health systems. We found that the MD Live example can be applied to a lot of health systems and really kind of provide a level of orchestration that is not there today and is really needed. That also is very important as more organizations are moving to value-based care, and they need to become more actuarial in their motion. And as far as the sales cycle, I mean, it is long. It's anywhere from 6 to 18 months, right? So it's really about being very effective there and building trust as well as educating folks along the way. And as far as kind of ROI, a lot of folks in the healthcare sector initially for these projects have been looking for grant funding to get going, but with the larger health systems, they typically have some funds available within their innovation arms and want to get this in place and start off with pilots and see some real positive results. And then once we land with those solutions, it becomes very sticky, and then and we expand our solution out there. Is that about 2
10
minutes?
seconds.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to the next company, which is Camlin Games. So Quentin, if you can unshare the slides so that Slava can share slides, that'd be great.
Everyone hear me? Wonderful. Apologies, my daughter became unexpectedly sick, so if a child runs by screaming, that would be her. Camlin is an AI-powered operating system that helps independent video game studios release games successfully. Independent game studios spend an average of $400,000 to develop a game, but rarely see a return because they lack effective marketing promotion. 98% of these are commercial failures. It's mainly because they don't do a good job with GTM. They don't use proper marketing channels, and they waste money on ads that don't convert. So the Camlin solution is an AI-powered first mover marketing technology platform that connects game studios with press, content creators, festivals, and helps optimize game distribution. It's basically the Kindle direct publishing of video games, but includes powerful tools to make sure a game's release is actually successful. So our value propositions that we offer our customers: industry-leading pricing and a powerful tool set that performs automated PR content creation, automated PR distribution, and automated advertising optimization, all in order to get our customer games more visibility and directly turn into more game sales. So it's a big market, 220 billion total video game market, expected to grow to 350 billion by 2028. Today, our serviceable is independent PC and console games, which the total revenue is 2.5 billion. And our revenue model relies on twofold. So a $200 per month platform access subscription, and then we take 30% of all games revenues when the games release. Today, our traction, we have 22 customers at 4,400 in MRR, 6 customers on waitlist. We project to have 2023 and 350 plus K top line, and a projected 2.3 million of 2024 revenue. So the way we get to this growth trajectories, our business model works where we collect 2,400 annually in those subscriptions. Then 12 to 18 months after customer acquisition, which is the length of the time we expect our games to engage on the Camelot platform before releasing their title, that's when the 30% rev share kicks in after the game's release. So we're at 22 customers today. We expect 100 by the end of 2024. And again, we expect 350K by the end of this year and 2.3 million by the end of 2024. Our why now is new technologies are allowing developers to increase their velocity, quality, and reduce cost of game development. Huge market. And previously, historically, indies have not been as popular as AAA titles, but that is flopping. Whereas what in 40% was in 2021 made up all the unit sales on Steam. Today it's 52%. So the timing is very good. And we have very unique insight into why we're going to succeed. We target global game studios that use modern technology to basically increase the velocity and improve the game quality and reduce the cost. We have proprietary Steam data that helps us target games in high demand, low supply genres to create basically downside protection, pretty much a sales floor to de-risk complete flops. And then we have an AI and product first approach to marketing our games, something our service-based competitors are not doing, leading to our cost structure being significantly lower and allowing us to go to market aggressively with competitive pricing. Our team is very robust. I'm a 2X founder with a profitable exit behind me, 8 years plus years as a marketing and advertising exec. My technical co-founder is Eddie. He's an AI and ML product leader and experienced marketing ad script developer. And then we have a support system of advisors who help with PR and content creation and Steam proprietary backend data. We expect to potentially have an exit with one of our strategic partners that we work with to distribute games, or some of the very M&A heavy enterprise companies that acquire revenue versus growing it internally. Today we're raising.
Thank you, Slava. We are strict on the time. So I will go to Phil now with your question.
Thanks, Slava. I appreciate the presentation. You mentioned that your platform and your solution is a very automated one. So I'm wondering why you have potential customers on a wait list. Why is there a wait list if this is not a service-heavy business?
And we'll go to Rob for a question.
I'm not as familiar with like the Steam console kind of gaming, but I know in mobile gaming, you know, the middle market of gaming, it just evaporated like the last 20 years in casual gaming. Like there's 1 million plus games in the world, but there's only like 200 that matter. It's very hit driven. So the middle market really got squeezed. It seems like you have a product targeting the middle market. So I'm just curious, like, are there actually, is there enough of a middle market within the indie world to actually build a business of scale?
Thanks. Just before we go to the next question here, if anybody has a question from the audience, you can put it in chat and we'll add that one in, but I'll go now to Scott Garber for his question.
I guess if you thought about not charging a platform fee, maybe like a sign up fee that's a little shorter, 200, 300, 500 bucks to cover the cost, then taking a rev share, maybe 35%, just that way you kind of expand quickly, really quickly.
Okay, and Scott Holloway, your question.
Yeah, my question is also on the revenue model. Seems pretty strong. I'm curious if like what the sales pitch is like. Are you replacing an existing set of technologies these folks would use? And if so, like what's the attribution above like a baseline? And are there like KPIs you have to hit throughout the service period to be able to maintain the 30% take rate?
Okay, just looking to see if anybody in the audience has a question. If not, we'll go to Tony with a question.
So, similar type of question in terms of your current customers, the customers on your wait list. Do you know if any of those previously used other studios, or did they try on their own and just decided to use Camera Games?
All right, thank you. All right, Slava, you have 2 minutes for those questions.
All right, so first I'll touch on the automation, why there's a wait list. So the actual go-to market motions within the platform are the things that are currently very automated. What unfortunately is lacking in the product today is a strong onboarding, and that's why we're raising today. So if you see here the 50% customer onboarding cost reduction, we're currently at capacity to be able to do about 2, maximum 3 games per month. And so this additional capital will allow us to bring on more developers and help with the kind of reducing cost of goods sold, which is the customer success cost. Referring to the casual nature of the mobile space that's hit driven, that is exactly the problem we're trying to solve in the PC and console space. But what's unique about it in the PC and console space is we have data that says that the market is completely not in equilibrium, meaning there are extremely high demand, low supply titles that are just not being filled. People are making like super casual games and puzzlers, 2D platformers, things that just do not sell on their own or with any marketing. And so our platform is basically doing customer acquisition. I mean, like the goal of our customer acquisition is to get games in higher demand space and then create education in the general community at scale when we hit a network effect, when it's like, aha, everyone knows what game they're supposed to build. How do they do it in a cost-effective way, et cetera, et cetera. Regarding the freemium model, we've actually thought about it. And the reason I did subscription was mainly just cash flow. We raised initially 500,000 back in March, and I just wanted to kind of extend our runway. And there's been no pushback on it. Some folks, we delay that out and we pay it. They pay it when they start to receive the actual sales from the games when the game's released, but they are bound to that today. We can think about freemium. That's how traditional publishers do it. 10 seconds. We're replacing another solution, which is either self-publishing or traditional service-based publishers. We are a publisher.
Thank you. This is I'm going to say this. We copied this from Jason Calacanis, and so that's why it's somewhat mean. But anyway, it is what it is. Cutting people off, but we'll go to now Carbon Origins. Amoga, you're up.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Can you see my deck? Yeah, it looks like you can. Perfect. All right. Okay, my name is Amoga, founder and CEO of Carbon Origins, where we are on a mission to make robots commonplace. We believe robots should do all the dirty, boring, dangerous jobs out there so people can focus on the more important stuff. And our robots are out there doing the world's toughest jobs. Carbon Origins is the safest way to operate heavy equipment. With Carbon Origins, equipment operators can work from anywhere on the planet, their car, their home, the job site, and semi-autonomous machines work around the clock. The ultra-low latency connection between our operator's VR headset and the machine allows us to provide a hyper-immersive interface, which gives our operators unparalleled situational awareness, giving them haptics, spatial video, sensor data overlay. They're like Iron Man controlling these 10-ton, multi-ton machines. We're collecting hundreds of hours of behavioral data from operators every month, and we're correlating that data to computer vision and kinematics data collected on the machine. So this, for the first time this is possible, we are able to see exactly what the thought process of the operator is as they're sending commands and control signals to the machines. So we're on a quest to build near human level artificial intelligence for machines out there. And just like Google had to build the search engine before they build the AI assistants, we're building the teleoperation platform, which we believe is a prerequisite for really good automation, full automation for these machines. Meet Bobby. This is our flagship product. He's a 5-ton skid steer. It's like the Swiss Army knife of heavy equipment trade. We can connect hundreds of different tools. That's an auger. This is a tree fork grappler for material handling. Of course, the staple, the dirt bucket, snow bucket, used to move materials, gravel, trash, snow, all sorts of things. There's the grappler bucket, again, for material handling, vegetation management. This one is my favorite, the pallet fork attachment. I've been getting a lot of hours on this, moving barrels of chemicals. Of course, we're a Midwest company. We got to do snow removal. So we're getting ready for the snow season coming up. Yeah, like imagine these machines coming online at 5 a.m., nobody in the cab, clearing snow. on parking lots. So we're constantly testing our pricing model. Our customers are the equipment owners and the rental companies that have fleets of these machines. We charge customers a one-time upfit fee. It's a $10,000 upfit fee for a machine, and then it's a monthly subscription based on what features you want. We're almost doubling the value of each machine, the value that each machine generates, while keeping the workforce the same. So get the most out of your most experienced operators, get more out of your existing fleet. That's our MVP. We're going to be going after much bigger machines, but with the Bobcats, we can tackle a ton of jobs out there. So this is a job we did last month where 2 Bobcats were simultaneously teleoperated from homes of operators. They augured 300 holes, and they planted 300 trees in those holes very precisely, 12 different species of trees, different hole diameters. You have to be precise. We were operating around utilities. So yeah, this was like diving into the deep end, putting the product to the test. This was yesterday. We were at Hennepin County Energy Recovery Center pushing trash into a 60-foot pit. Stinks like crazy. Nobody wants to sit in the cab of those machines for 8+ hours a day. So just removing the operator from the cab
10 seconds.
would be a game changer. This is the team behind it all. We have landed robots on Mars, launched suborbital rockets, and now we're making robots commonplace.
Thank you, Amoga. We'll go now to David with your question.
Thank you for the presentation. So I'm not sure I understood if you build the machines or if you rent them. And the other question would be, do the machines have to be remotely controlled by a human, or can they operate on their own?
John Eng, your question?
Yeah, I'm wondering, I mean, this is super cool. I'm just wondering, like, has there been resistance from unions or anybody like that? Because this may be replacing jobs, or are they actually a channel for you because of safety?
Thank you, John McElraith. Oh, you're on mute, John.
Yeah, I know. Very cool. It seems capital intensive. So, I mean, do you have to convert these pieces of equipment over to this AI functionality? And the bigger question is, what's the raise? How far does it take you? And, you know, how it's getting a sense of how capital intensive it is to bring these robots online. But you know, makes great sense. It's just a question of whether the dollars match up.
Thank you. Kim, question?
I'm curious if you have any patents on the technology and who you see as a potential acquirer, or what does the future look like for success for your business?
Thank you. And Neha?
My question's around sort of the ROI. If you're moving to teleoperation, is it one operator for multiple machines? Otherwise, you know, where does the ROI really come from? And then how does this compete with autonomy that John Deere and the likes are all starting to work on?
All right. Thank you. All right, Amoga, you have 2 minutes for the questions, and you can interpret that as 1 per judge, since they were a little overboard.
All right, cool. I'll go quickly. We don't build the machines. We get them off of the dealer's lot and we upfit them. It takes half a day to upfit it. It's a kit that goes on the top of the machine. We interface over the CAN bus port, which is a standard that was passed in 1998 as Society of Automotive Engineering. Makes it really easy to hack into these machines and take control of them, full control of them. Teleop or automation, it's a combination of both. So we don't see automation ready yet for doing these jobs completely. You need human in the loop. So we use AI as a tool. So we provide operators macros, AI-driven macros. So you position that drill bit and hit a button and it drills a perfect hole for you, as an example, but you're still supervising the machine. Unions actually love this. The waste management job that we did yesterday was because of the local 49 union getting excited about what we're doing. They see this as the way to attract the next generation of operators. reduce risk. So it's a great workforce development tool. It reduces liability. The next question was about the raise. How far is it? How much do we need? We're raising $5 million. So there was a quick slide. So we've been at this for almost 4 years. We raised a $1.8 million pre-seed round after we completed Techstars in 2021. That was to do the initial commercialization of the tech. We deployed it in sidewalk food delivery robots. Realized we were solving a $20 per hour problem, whereas a tech could be solving a $100+ per hour problem. So pivoted into it earlier this year. The 5 mil gives us about 24 months of runway.
10 seconds.
Get really quick to ROI. The biggest ROI is removing the operator from the cab and allowing them to be in multiple job sites at the same time.
Amoga. All right, we will now go on to Dylan, Evergreen Miner.
Okay, so I can just share my screen, correct?
You should be able to.
All right. Just a moment. Sorry. Okay, all good. You could see my screen. Okay, so hi, my name is Dylan Rose. I am working on Evergreen. We consider ourselves to be the most consumer-friendly Web3 platform. So for me, getting into crypto, I just had to dodge all of these different networks and different apps, and I saw people losing money left and right, and I just had this really bad experience getting into crypto. But I've always been a hardware guy. And so, I plugged in my kit, I plugged in my device, and it just worked. And I got very in love with, finding ways to make crypto a platform for people where they didn't have to deal with all of these confusing topics. They just got something and worked. And the best way I can describe this is, there's a lot of people who go into Best Buy or Target, or they want their tech product, they want to put it under the tree. That's not a thing today in crypto, but as an industry, we need to get there. So Evergreen is something that you should be able to go into Best Buy, buy it, give it as a gift, plug it into the wall, and it should just work. And that's the core thesis that, we're building the company against. So again, we're making crypto 10 times simpler for new users. And the thesis there is really that you should just have to take, a couple clicks and you're experiencing everything you might want to experience in this new frontier without all the hassle. So in the last 12 months, we've done just about 3 million actually in revenue, and a majority of that is for small consumer clients spending somewhere around $2,000 a piece. We do have an enterprise business where people are spending 100, 200,000 on kind of larger deployments. It's about 1,000 users, and really the behavior here is that they're repurchasing. So they'll get a small kit and then they'll add on to that in order to grow at this point their earnings. So as you can see, there's this device, it's about this big. I've got, a warehouse full of them. If you can see my screen, I got a couple over there. We got a warehouse full of them. And then there's an app, and all you have to do is plug the device in. It connects to your network. It's very small. It's very quiet. It's not going to show up on your energy bill. And then you open the app and you're earning. And the app today is very simple. It's meant to show you your earnings. It's meant to kind of monitor your device. But as we grow, we're going to integrate with different chains, different applications, and make things that are really useful and compelling for users. So our users are very excited. They have not had this product before. I mean, I've had so many people who I've chatted with who are like, yeah, I could never get into crypto, but then I found your product. And that's really the thing that we're indexing on here. So we built a scrappy warehouse. I mean, we got a crazy amount of orders in the beginning of the year, and we were in a garage. So I had to spend, the first whole quarter of the year building devices myself, hiring my buddies. I mean, we put up 2 walls to make a server farm. So the idea of kind of starting a computer company out of a garage was really true for us. The main way that we focused on distribution is through creators in the space. One of the primary creators alone has sold over $100 million worth of crypto miners to his audience. And he is always looking for new ways to kind of expand his TAM, right? For a lot of his audience, it's, you know, bigger miners with deeper pockets, but he became very interested in our product because we were actually able to reach a lot more of his audience. And the model's really simple, right? There's no weird tokens. They just sell devices. Everyone buys it in cash. They can buy crypto, but the creators get paid in commission. And over time, it becomes a really great engagement loop because in our app, they can then kind of engage with the creator that they bought the device from. And it creates utility that goes far beyond what's actually being done in crypto today. That's mostly focused on trading and speculation. So we are profitable. We were able to
10 seconds.
Very rapidly get our margin down. We've been growing over the last several months. Our average order value is growing. We have a team of, you know, it's a very small, scrappy team, but a lot.
Thank you, Dylan. We're out of time. I think they cut your mic there. All right, so go to questions. Phil, your question, please.
Unless I'm missing something, I saw in the pitch that you have 1,000 active users and you've fulfilled more than 5,000 devices. So it sounds like you have quite a high churn rate. Can you speak to why the churn rate is as high as it seems to be?
Thanks. And Rob, your question?
I understand you have 35% margin, I assume, on the hardware device. Is there a recurring revenue here, or is it just the upfront sale?
Thank you. Scott G.
So if I were to buy 10 of these, what would be the ROI? Like what would I actually make from this in a month, 6 months, 12 months?
Thank you, Scott H.
Just curious what it's kind of a churn related question, what the ideal customer journey is like from buying this device to month 6, month 12. Like, what am I doing on the platform if I'm like the highest value customer to you?
And Tony.
Yeah, so question is, what are your plans for other revenue sources if your revenue is primarily from the device sale?
Dylan, you got 2 minutes for this. You're on mute though.
Yeah, so relating to churn, I'm not sure if that's actually necessarily applicable because we're not, you know, someone buys a device and then they either decide to repurchase or not. So over the last couple months, our repurchase rate has grown to about 35%, meaning, you know, people are coming back to make more than one purchase. So, you know, the ideal customer behavior there is that we get them in with kind of a loss leader, something like $500, and they really like the passive income piece. So they're adding one drive, you know, a month. Our bigger customers who are going to buy 10 drives, they're going to do the same thing, right? So it's kind of a similar pattern. If you buy one drive, if you like the product, you'll come back and you'll buy another drive. Some customers will scale up 20 drives, 10, you know, we have kind of our average order right now has been growing, but about 10 drives a person. To answer the ROI piece, you know, a lot of people ask about this. It's very hard in these kinds of markets to specifically say it's going to be 2 years or 8 years because there's so many different factors. If you're at a big data center and you can have zero cost energy, you might get, you know, a 2-minute ROI or a 2-year ROI. On our devices, it's a bit lower, but that's not, to be honest with you, the primary driver here. I have people like buying today at an 8-year ROI because they just want passive income and they're not going to lose money on it. So it's much less about what that ROI number is and more just that, wow, I can buy something for $500 and make passive income. On the platform side of things, it is right now, it is very much just around earning. We definitely plan to open up exchanging and, you know, kind of content distribution, and that's a form of recurring revenue. But the reality is, like, let's say we could get 2% across what people are earning on the platform. Today, that value is not very high. That's something like a couple $1,000s a month in recurring revenue when we're doing, you know, $250,000 a month in device sales. But absolutely over time, that's going to grow as people decide to, you know, put more and more of their earnings into financial products or content related products that we offer. That's where
I'm not this mean in real life.
We'll check with your kids. Anyway, thank you, Dylan, and we'll now go to Kyle with Over Easy.
All right. Let's see here. Let me just make sure you guys are seeing this. Can you see this all right? Okay. All right. Well, nice to meet everybody. My name is Kyle Maggard. I'm the founder of OverEasy. We're building the next Kellogg's here in Cleveland, Ohio. So I am the only non-technical founder here, but hopefully I'm not too much of a fish out of water. I was an engineer in my previous life. I did engineering at West Point, where I did my undergrad, Cambridge, where I did a master's, served 6 years active duty in the Army as an engineer officer, and then dropped out of Harvard Business School to build OverEasy full-time, which I hear is a thing tech founders do. So happy to be here with everybody. The problem that OverEasy is solving, why I'm building the next Kellogg's, is because America has a looming health crisis. And despite all innovation in medicine and technology and artificial intelligence, every year Americans are getting a little fatter and a little sicker. And the reason is pretty simple. We are what we eat. Our food is killing us. And starting with the biggest offender in a broken food system, the broken breakfast category. See, breakfast is the only meal of the day controlled by companies. It's controlled by 4 multinational conglomerates, and their products haven't changed since the 80s. They're filled with artificial preservatives, dyes, unnecessary sugars. So it's no wonder that Americans are starting their day on the wrong foot every morning. See, I believe that the key to a healthy and happy life starts with a healthy morning. And that's why we're building the breakfast company of the 21st century to replace Kellogg's, General Mills, Post, and Quaker. Our first product is essentially a bowl of oatmeal in a bar, a soft and chewy oat bar. It's made from organic oats, all natural nut butter. It's sweetened with honey. The protein is just cage-free egg whites, everything that you would want in a healthy, nutritious, but also delicious bowl of oatmeal that you can eat where and when you want to. The bar category is crowded, obviously. We've all had plenty of horrible bars. The thing that's different about OverEasy, in addition to the taste, is we are the premium, the clean ingredient option in the breakfast bar category. So every one of these incumbents does more than $100 million a year in sales. A couple of them do more than $1 billion a year in sales. And you can just see objectively how we are different from them. More protein, less sugar, far better ingredient list, no gums, no oils, no syrups, no dyes. So we are coming in with a very much objectively better product than the competition. We have 8 delicious flavors. We continue to innovate all the time, adding new flavors to the mix, getting feedback from our customers, and making things, nutritious but also delicious at the same time. We launched a company. I sold our first bar in 2020. We're doubling sales more year over year. We'll do about $5.2 million in sales this year and expect to expand beyond there. We're in 3,000 grocery stores today. We're expecting to be about 6,500 at the end of 2024 as we expand into places like Walmart and Target and really anywhere that Americans are grocery shopping. We're also reaching customers at their place of work and play. So we're in Google headquarters, we're in Meta headquarters, we're in Netflix, Amazon. Soon we'll be, we're also in college campuses, sports locker rooms, getting customers to try the product when they're not shopping so that they can try it for free and then ultimately go on and buy some for their family. We have a best-in-class team. So this is my first foray in entrepreneurship, first foray into food, although I've always been a lifelong lover of food. I created our recipes myself. I've built an awesome team with experience from Kind, Cliff, companies that we obviously want to follow in their footsteps, Pepsi, and really have a best-in-class team, although we're quite small at 7 people. So here's what we're doing. We're raising $500,000 to expand and launch our new branding. You can see where we are on the left. We're launching our new branding. On the right, it's going to be.
Thank you, Kyle. So I just want, before I go to the judges for the questions, United Market, Austin has a connection problem, so he is not going to be pitching. So after this will be launched, after the questions for Kyle, will launch the poll and have the judges vote. So I'll go now to David with your question.
Yeah, I don't know very well the food market, but thank you for the presentation and the great product that you are manufacturing. So my question is, I mean, you're competing with very large companies that buy space on the shelves and spend a bunch of money to. So basically the question is for growing in the next 3 to 5 years, how much money will you need?
John Ing?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you're growing super well. What's it going to take to actually like do 10x? Is it just a matter of money, or is there kind of efficiencies that you can get?
Thanks, John McElrath.
A related question, the earlier one, you've got a lot of sales. I think you might have said you're profitable. I can't remember, but you only need $500,000 for a brand rebranding launch. How much more do you need to achieve success, and what's the valuation investors are going to face for the $500,000 investment?
Question.
Do you have any supply chain issues with distribution to your stores? And how many SKUs do you have in most of your retail stores currently for your brand?
Thank you. And Neha.
I'm curious about pricing and if your price is a premium product or not. I commend your vision, but I think if you truly want to disrupt sugary breakfast food, it has to be better product, better price. And then that's how you really garner a mass market.
Thank you. All right. So now, Kyle, you have 2 minutes for those questions.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for the questions. I'll start with the pricing. Price is premium now. It's not the most expensive thing in the market, but we'll achieve economies of scale as we, produce more bars, go from producing 25,000 a day to 250,000 a day, get cheaper ingredient pricing as well. So we will be able to drive down price as we scale, as every company in food and beverage has. Supply chain issues? No, we do not have any supply chain issues. We have 3 to 4 SKUs on most of the grocery store shelves. Part of how we get to 10xing the business, to answer your question, John, we add more SKUs to the shelf, we increase velocities. So having customers buy the bars more frequently could be, they start buying them from themselves, and they start buying them for their kids. So increasing velocities at each point, and then ultimately expanding distribution. There's about 60,000 doors, grocery stores and convenience store doors across the country. We're in 3,000 right now. So that's how we 10x a business. How much money over the next 3 to 5 years? About $4 million. We have about $1 million in the bank right now. We also have a line of credit. This 500,000 is getting us to the Series A because we think we're going to hit profitability in June. That's when I want to raise the Series A, so the valuation is higher and so it's less diluted. So this 500K is helping us get to that point to really blow the business up once we get into Walmart and Target. The valuation is a 15 million cap. About three times last 12 month sales.
What's your current revenue?
We are at 3.8 thus far in the year.
Great. Thank you. So
as of the end of September.
All right. Thank you. So, all right. So, Chandler, if you can go ahead and launch the poll now. I'm just going to remind everyone, if you're in the audience, if you could please go on to the poll now and pick a company and then vote, and then please put in the chat, because this is really important for the companies, why you picked whoever you picked, because I think that feedback is useful. And while they're doing that, I'm going to start moving through the judges and ask the judges to verbally say the company that they picked and the one sentence why. And we'll start with David Mortimer.
So I picked Over Easy. The reason is that, in my opinion, it mixes very well a mission which is for the greater good, as well as a potentially great financial opportunity for an investor.
Thank you. Now we'll go to John Ing.
I chose Carbon Origins. I thought it was a very disruptive technology, almost like doing deep tech, but with real life applications now, in disrupting a very old business, which we love.
Great, thank you. John McElrath.
Yeah. So I invest in software companies. So I'm trying to change and think, okay, what would an angel do? And I also like Over Easy. because I think it's a good risk reward. I like the product. I know a little bit about the industry they're in. And I think a $500,000 investment at that valuation, you probably have a good shot at getting a nice return and low downside risk.
All right, thank you. Let's see, Kim.
Carbon Origins, I think the technology seems to be extremely disruptive. They were able to see a much larger market opportunity in the manufacturing space versus like the pizza delivery. And I think for overall disruption, I see this being very impactful on the market and saving people's lives and money as well to owners of these types of equipment and businesses.
Thank you. Neha?
I also picked Carbon Origin, very forward looking, and I think it's a really interesting gateway to autonomy with all the data being collected. So that's intriguing.
Right, thank you. Phil?
I also picked Carbon Origins. I think the increases in productivity that they can help companies achieve can be very meaningful, can provide for strong ROI, and give them great upside potential. So I like that one the best.
Thank you. Rob?
Okay, so full disclosure, our fund's an existing investor in Carbon Origins. I did pick Carbon Origins. I could pick another one if you wanted. We invested in their prior round while they were kind of in the food space and been really excited about this new direction. And we're probably a good shot. We'll participate in this round as well.
All right, we'll pick another one so we can have the feedback.
All right, I didn't catch the name, but I like the crypto startup, and I'm not a crypto guy. I just thought, it kind of makes sense. It's like I almost well, I don't want to comment negatively about other ones, but I like that one even though I'm not a crypto guy. I think it's like an approachable way to kind of easy entry into a market that has just been really complicated. So I like that one.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Rob. And Scott Garber.
Yeah, Carbon Origins, I think from a safety angle, it's a pretty big ROI, especially you talk about the snow example when it's negative 10 degrees outside. No one wants to be outside. It's a lot easier to do it from a living room with coffee.
Thank you. Scott Holloway.
Yeah, definitely tough. Picked over easy, agree with the massive challenge that Americans face with prediabetes and everything else. I think it's a really hard road ahead to compete in that category, but breakfast needs to be reinvented. I think you've got a really nice product and good traction. So good luck.
All right, and Tony, and I'm going to have you start with picking ones that Comeback Capital did not invest in, so that we don't have to redo like we did with Rob.
Right. I'm going to pick Aiden. I think I know it's very difficult to sell into healthcare, and just impressed by the amount of traction that they've gotten in that space because I know it's not easy.
All right.
So they must have something good.
Thank you. Okay, so and Chandler, can you just show the results if we have them from the audience poll? Okay. All right. So it looks like numbers wise, Carbon Origins from both the audience and the judges. I want to first of all thank all of the judges, thank all of the founders who pitched for doing this, and then urge everybody now to please go to the next phase of this, which is to join breakout rooms with the founders. Chandler, I can't remember how we're doing this. Are you just launching the breakout rooms? Is that how we have it? All right, so Chandler will launch the breakout rooms. If you can just go, founders, please move yourself to your own breakout room. Others pick the first breakout room you want to go into there. And if you have any trouble because you don't have the latest version of Zoom, we can help move you. All right, and thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
those of you who are still here, do you need help moving into a breakout room? Or
Are we picking the breakout room?
Yeah, you're picking
Oh,
whichever
okay.
one you want to go to.
Sorry, what's the best way to do that?
So there should be a button that has join breakout room under the 3 dots with more.
I can put you in there, Scott, if you need me to. Which one do you want to go to?
Can you drop me into Carbon, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, I think everybody else is in.
Right. So everything else appears to be these note takers, right?
Yep.
Okay. I just want to look at the breakout rooms. Okay, so United Market doesn't have anybody that's okay because they weren't actually, they're not even there. Right, we had like kind of large, oh, I shouldn't talk about it with all the note takers on.
Mm-hmm. Justice emailed, he's very sick, he says. So he wasn't able, which is why he wasn't able to make it. Didn't even have a voice.
Okay.
I think next time I'm gonna ask the judges and the companies to come on like a few minutes early if they can. Because it's too hard to see who's here.
Ending the recording now and removing these recorders.
Hold on, let me see how I remove them. I can end the recording.